How'd the guitar show up?
Guitar showed up. He had a guitar. I picked his guitar up when I was 8, and it hurt. I mean, it hurt to play.
All right.
And I gave it up after a little bit just because, I was into sports and stuff. And then I picked it back up pretty heavily when I was 14 and 15. And, you get to where you could play, and then you get to where you could play and sing a little bit. And then that's when I figured out I could write a song. And, man, once I figured out how to write a song, I was hooked.
What was your first song?
It was called Solitude.
Solitude.
Yeah.
You were just sitting by yourself doing that?
I was, yeah. I recorded on a little cassette and then listened to it a million times. I was so proud of myself. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people, and they're like, how do you get going in the business and whatever? And it always comes down to not always, but generally, well, I can't just leave my family and move to Nashville and whatever. But that's kind of what you got to do.
You got to do it. I just had a little girl, and she's from Minnesota, and we were in Vegas, and she was out there and asked me. She's 17. She goes, "What do I need to do to do music?" And I said, "Well, when I was 18, I moved to Nashville, and 9 years later, here I stand telling you this. It's not an overnight thing, but you gotta love it. To do this, it's like Tim Nichols said, nobody does this for the money because it takes too long to get there. And that can be more true. It's a love and I think a addiction. That you got to keep on getting a little bit.
And I've read a lot of stories about you living behind the Bluebird Cafe.
Yeah, sure did. Which was a good thing, And now the show Nashville is kind of making the Bluebird this well-known place, which is really cool for my story. It was the first place I went to the first night I came to Nashville, and I didn't get in. I had to watch the riders around through the window. But
really,
yeah, on the sidewalk. So that was a pretty fun memory. But I rented a house right behind the Bluebird, which was a good thing because I could walk over. But at the same time, I was broken into 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about
really
that alley.
Bad part
I know I was
of
broken
town
into
right
3
there.
times in 1 year, so it was like, enough of this. I'm trying to get my shotgun stolen. So, oh well.
But you kind of got discovered in there, or?
Yeah, I did. I did in a way. I met a lady named Barbara Cloyd. She ran me down in the parking lot after I tried out for Sunday night spotlight slot, and she put me in touch with somebody at NSAI, which they're big songwriter advocates and for young songwriters coming through the biz, and met with them and played them some songs, and then they started setting up some meetings for me, and off to the races we went.
That's great. I mean, it seems like such a fairy tale, but it's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was playing in the Bluebird one night, and Bob Doyle, who turned out to be Garth Brooks's manager,
right?
He was working at ASCAP, and I got done with my set, and he walks up and introduced himself, and he goes, "Hey, you got any more songs like that?" And I go, "Yeah, I got plenty of bad songs, man." He goes, "So well, come to my office tomorrow. I want to hear some more." And I played him 4 or 5 songs, and he called up this guy, Don Gant, who produced Jimmy Buffett and was head of ABC Records. And, he said, "I've never called you with anybody, but I think this guy's going to write a hit and you might want it, And
wow.
Yeah. That's kind of, it just really happened like that.
And that was the Bluebird as well.
Yeah, it was.
That's so cool.
I know. It was neat.